Imagine being locked in a cell, sharing a space with someone who is killed for pleasure. Might just be waiting for the next chance to do it again. This isn't the plot of a horror movie. It's the real story inside one of the UK's most secure prisons, and the name behind this terrifying tale. Joanna Dennehy. Some people carry within them a darkness so profound that not even prison walls can contain it. Joanna Dennehy is one of those people. She's not just any criminal. She's a true anomaly in the world of crime, a figure so feared that even the toughest inmates stay out of her way. Today we re-diving into the twisted mind of one of the most terrifying women in British criminal history, a woman whose lust for blood defied logic and shook the country to its core. Brace yourself as we uncover the chilling legacy of Joanna Dennehy. In the UK, a whole-life prison sentence is one of the harshest punishments a judge can impose, and it's rare. Of the hundreds of thousands who've passed through the system, only 4 women have ever been sentenced to die in prison. Rose West, Lucy Letby, and Joanna Dennehy. But unlike the others, Dennehy didn't kill with a partner. She didn't need years of planning. She didn't need a grand motive. She did it alone. Fast, brutally. Joanna Dennehy was born in 1982 to a family with high hopes. Her parents paid for a good education, dreaming that their daughter might become a lawyer one day. But instead of joining the legal system, she became its worst nightmare. By her teens, she was already in trouble skipping school, using drugs, drinking heavily, and getting involved with older men. At 15, she ran off with a 20-year-old named John Trainer and disappeared from her family's life. When she reappeared, she had 2 children and a dangerous new demeanor. Her relationship with her parents was toxic. She would reappear only to threaten them, demanding money and using her children as leverage. If they didn't pay, they didn't see their grandchildren. Eventually, she disappeared again. When she resurfaced next, it was on the evening news. Dennehy had moved to East Anglia, and her life unraveled into chaos. She became a heavy drinker with a violent temper, paranoid and aggressive. She started carrying a knife in her boot and directing her rage at those closest to her, especially Trainer, whom she abused relentlessly until he fled with the children. Psychiatrists would later diagnose her with antisocial personality disorder. She reportedly derived pleasure from inflicting pain, but no intervention seemed to work. And in 2013, the violence escalated. The first victim was Łukasz Slebaszewski, a Polish national looking for a good time. Dennehy lured him in with suggestive texts, then stabbed him through the heart and dumped his body in a ditch. Next came her roommate, John Chapman. He never saw it coming. Dennehy stabbed him 5 times and disposed of his body with help from a man who had become her accomplice, Gary Stretch. He didn't do the killing, but he helped clean up the mess. Then came Kevin Lee, a landlord who employed Dennehy. Over time, she grew to resent him. She seduced him, lured him in, then killed him, leaving his body in a black sequin dress, posed grotesquely in a field. 3 murders, 10 days, and she wasn't done. She and Stretch went on the run, attacking 2 random dog walkers in Hereford. Both survived, but not before Dennehy stole one of their dogs. It was a twisted cherry on top of a spree soaked in blood. Despite being under probation watch, Dennehy's crimes went undetected until it was too late. When arrested, she laughed in court and pled guilty to all charges: 3 murders, 2 attempted murders. She showed no remorse. The judge gave her a whole life sentence. Stretch got life with a 19-year minimum. 2 other accomplices were sentenced as well. But locking her up didn't end the danger. Inside Bronzefield Prison, Dennehy plotted to escape by killing a guard and using their finger on the scanner. She was placed in solitary confinement for 2 years. But even isolation couldn't dull her need for power. Eventually, she was given a cellmate, Haley Palmer, a convicted robber. The 2 formed a romantic relationship, which raised serious alarms. And those fears were justified when both women were found severely injured in their cell, in what seemed like a suicide pact. They survived, but Dennehy was deemed too dangerous for shared housing. She was moved to HM Prison, Low Newton, the UK's most secure women's prison. There, she clashed with another infamous inmate, Rose West. Dennehy allegedly threatened to kill her. Soon after, West was transferred. Even in Low Newton, Dennehy found a new partner, Aitken, a 19-year-old, involved in a nightclub murder. But Haley Palmer reappeared after her release, and by 2021, Dennehy and Palmer were engaged. Palmer insisted that Dennehy give up killing. Dennehy agreed, allegedly. Despite being in prison for life, Dennehy continued to make headlines. A 2021 documentary, The Murderer in Me, Joanna Dennehy, and interviews with her ex shed more light on her disturbing past. Some reports claim that she still writes letters, trying to lure new prey to visit her in prison. Experts believe her compulsion to kill may never fade. But with no men around and no male guards, she may be forced to find new ways to feed her darkness. And then came Lucy Letby. In 2023, the UK's most hated woman was sent to Low Newton. A nurse convicted of killing 7 babies and attempting to murder 15 more. Letby represents everything Dennehy claims to despise. She said before she would never harm a woman with children in Letby. In Dennehy's twisted code may be the ultimate violation. Will Dennehy strike again? It's probably not. Low Newton's security is airtight, but the possibility alone is terrifying. Joanna Dennehy is a rare type of killer, especially for a woman. She's not just impulsive or methodical. She's both. A manipulator, a predator, a danger to everyone around her. The guards know it, the inmates know it, and so do we. What drives someone like Joanna Dennehy? Was it trauma, mental illness, or something even darker? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to explore more twisted minds, watch our next video. The worst serial killer in every state. See you there.